everyone, it's me Laura from the Papered Soul. I finally have my journal done that I did as a design team project for EllsieBels Bookshelf. Her kit is called Nature's Music, and I really enjoyed working with this kit. It has more of a monochromatic feel to it, and you know, that's what I love about it. I've got another set of papers that I'm already got set aside to do a different colorway to show the versatility of this kit, because you can just add. She's got little bits of color scattered through her designs, and then you can pull those colors out. So anyway, this is the front of it. It is a file folder cover. I did sewing around it. There's frayed edges. Music fabric is what I used. I've got some fabric here, and then one of her main focal pieces that I cut out and backed it on some cardstock and decorative pattern paper. I did color just a little bit of the flower and the flowers and the greenery, and just left everything else more the monochromatic to represent her kit. I made a little flower here. You cannot really mess these flowers up the way they are treated. They're going to hold their shape, so I just thought I would add that on for a pop of color. I have the elastic. This is like a stretchy lace tie that I did in black, and it is up underneath the main focal point on the journal, so you're not going to lose it, so it won't come off. 5 hole pamphlet stitch, and let's get in. All right, so it's a nice big chunky signature, one signature. And so this is, I just left this plain inside. I don't call it plain because it's got a lot going on visually, but I didn't put any pockets on the inside, but there's a lot inside this journal. Made this, actually this is a time card. I put tissue paper over it, so whenever you have any kind of tissue paper that's kind of gotten wrinkled or whatever, save it and decoupage it over. It'll add color, and decoupage it over, and then you can stamp on top of it, but it'll add color to your projects. Here's one of her little journal tags. The earth has music for those who listen. This is an envelope in her kit, and I left it, I actually cut the little flaps off and just left that as like a little writing spot. I did some stamping. I've done a lot of sewing, lots of edge punching on the edges of these pages. Made a tag there, sewed around it. That is on the backing of it is a index card. I made a little bingo journal spot. Copy dyed papers, sewing around this pocket, stamping, more decoupage. This is, I stamped this and colored it and sewed around it, so it's kind of like a little thick journal card, and it tucks into this little pocket here. This flips open. Here's another one of her cards from the kit. Of all the paths you take in life, make sure a few of them are dirt. And this has just the slightest little bit of hint of a blush of pink to it, so it's just very, very monochromatic. I made these. And this little flower there with a button. You can see her pretty paper with a dandelion there. Seeing nature. Did a little stenciling on here. The other thing you can do, or what I did, I should say, is I looked up a lot of, I got inspired by this kit, Nature's Music, and what I did is I looked up a lot of quotes, and it made me think about lots of different types of sounds and music that nature makes, and I'll kind of point it out to you as I go along. This is one of my favorite quotes: learn to pause or nothing worthwhile will catch up to you. So if we don't pause and listen to, you know, what nature offers us, you know, we're going to miss it. Got you some vintage music paper here. And then this is the other part of my time card, one of my time cards that I have in my shop, the other one you saw over there, and I just kind of cut it at half. I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, cut it in half, and this is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and a decoupage napkin on it. Made a cute little journal spot here. It just says peace. I think we feel at peace when we're in nature. Here's one of her pretty journal cards. It says faith. And I missed that. I just have it tucked in there. I have an extra writing space here. And I just took a couple of elements from her kit, this little plaque and the dragonfly, and made a tuck spot, or a spot to hold that little writing space down. This is so cute. It's graph paper. You may not be able to see it on the camera, but it's like the grid paper look to it. It's got music and some little holes, like it's been torn out of a notebook. I like that look. On this page, she had some, underneath this, she actually emulated tape. And so what I did is I took some of the pattern paper I used in the kit and cut it and made it look like the tape was torn off, and just glued it there for a little pop of color over there. And then, of course, you have these pretty little birds there. Here I said, melodious chirp of crickets and grasshoppers. That is one of the sounds and musical sounds that nature makes, and so it made me think of that. That's a pretty little card there from her kit. I stamped this out and sewed that for a little journal spot, and this is one of the cards from her kit as well. So put that there. You can color that if you want to. This is also a little tuck under here. I ruffled up some paper, pattern paper, so you can put a little something there if you wanted to. The woods would be very silent if no birds sang there except those that sang best. That's a quote from Henry Van Dyke. Just put a little texture flower up there. And I had some stamps and like a dandelion also that she's used in hers. And so I had a stamp, and I just thought I would stamp that there. And this is vintage music paper. I kind of left this little section kind of, you know, monochromatic and muted. Joy is when a tiny bird sings a big sweet song. And this is just like an overlay of paper that you can, it's a journal spot. And I put a little washi tape butterfly there. That opens up for more journaling. Made a couple little tags, sewed around those. This is from her kit, just some of the excess paper. And then there's that dandelion on that little tag. I have these little teeny tiny tags in my shop. They're the perfect little size. Cut these little butterflies out. This says listen. And there's that, one of her pages. That's the one I did on the front. This is just a little, I got this from the dollar store, and I just thought that was appropriate. One of those, and it's a journal spot. And this is another, this is an alterations tag that I did some decoupage on. And again, I'm keeping with that black and white theme that Ellie did. And this is on the other side, so I just paper clipped this envelope. It says singing birds, and I kept it open. It's been inked. I did like a honeycomb design on the inside. You can certainly seal it up if you wanted. If whoever gets this wants to seal it up and use it as a regular envelope, they can. And I just tuck that there. And tuck that there. And then I have like a little music stamp, and so I just kind of tucked that there, put a ribbon on it, did some bees here. This is, I sewed around this little belly band. It says, the hum of bees is the voice of the garden. That's a quote by Elizabeth Lawrence. And I stamped a bee out, colored it, got a bee here. And, oh, I think it's glued. Yeah. I just tucked that, put that bee there enough to just hold this piece of paper closed. Just did a little bit of spraying on that, you know, just to add some interest to it. Kind of match that. Here's another pretty tag from her kit. Pretty ribbon on that. And my little flowers again, I love those. So I made another journal spot, and then a journal spot that all of these I sewed around. That I sewed around, and did the zigzag. She's got kind of a zigzag sewing design, and I kind of kept in theme with that. I sewed around this ticket that's also in her kit and kept that envelope open. Did some stenciling, flower stenciling there, and I just tucked that under that ticket. It's really hard not to color these flowers, but that's certainly something that you could do. They're so pretty, but then I just love the black and white that she kept it in too. Here I have like a little tuck area, and I just added some paper from a little notepad that I had for some journaling. But also this pulls out, and then I have like a little, tied it with some baker's twine, and I have like a little journaling area there, little pieces of paper, and you can actually take that, untie that, and you can add more paper, you know, if you want to, so you can kind of keep that replenished and then store those notes that you wrote somewhere else. And here's some other little, it's like a little pocket here, and I added some more of those little pieces of paper. Nature's music is never over. Her silences are pauses, not conclusions. I love that. And that's a little flips up for writing. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. This little corner got a lot of attention. And so I just put a little flower there, inked it a little bit, sprayed some shiny spray, tucked a few little feathers because I thought that was appropriate for the birds. This little tag says a chorus of frogs. That's another sound, musical sound that you hear. I know, especially in the summer. Got some fun. This is like top 10 little list there from Smashbook, I think, is where I got that. Did some sewing on that. This is one of her cards from the kit. I sewed around it, backed it with coffee dyed paper. And so, of course, the frogs, and I had this little frog, and he's like the little sticker, but he looks bronzed, and I have a stencil that I cut out, shaded and cut out like a fern, and then I did some background stenciling, like you're in the forest and he's hiding behind this little fern. He's on there, so I just thought that was, you know, I had to represent the little frogs. I just started, like I say, thinking about the noises and what little creatures are out there making noises that make that musical sound in nature. The buzzing of bees. This flips up. Did a little stenciling so you can journal there. I'll pull these out. Two little tucks here. That's the one that I colored. Sewed around it. Journal spot on the back. And some of her papers that I cut up and just used back with coffee dyed papers. This opens up, so this flips up here, there, and then this opens up totally. And then I sewed paper in there, so you can open that. And then I have like a little pocket there with more of that fun paper, and you can just tuck all kinds of stuff. Some graph paper, notebook paper, more coffee dyed paper, and then stenciled all along here, and you can certainly, you know, write all along here too. So just a neat little flip booklet there, or flip up, I should say. And like I say, these little pockets back here. And a pocket here. And then more of your vintage music. I made this tag. A bird doesn't sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. And that's a pocket there. That's another one of her little, let's see, I actually sealed that one and made it an envelope. I didn't keep that one open. So that's a little envelope. And dragonfly stamping. I stamped my little bird and edged it with a distress. And it's double-sided there, like double thickness with coffee dyed paper. Humming of cicadas. That's another wonderful sound. And then this, oops, you have to take him out. And this flips up. It's got stenciling for more journaling there. Another page from her kit. And see that, I just love that color, and that just picked up so great with this pattern paper, which again, the edge punching. May you touch fireflies and stars, dance with fairies, and talk to the moon. Doesn't that sound lovely? I sewed around that particular tag. It's a journal spot on the back. I made this out of a guest check, folded it up, folded it back, and sewed it all around. And then I decoupaged some napkin on it and just made it pretty. On the back, of course, it's the thank you, and then it's got like a journal spot there. And made my little tag. I love to make my little tag. I think I try to put him in all of my journals. He's just one of my favorite stamps. So I did the little accordion thing there, and then on the back, I made a pocket and put some washi tape there, and then I punched out like a little butterfly, polka dot butterfly. He matches that ribbon, but I just thought that was cute. And ran a ribbon down through the punched holes of the edge punching I did. I love this. I did this coffee dyed is on a muffin pan, and it rings the darkness. The coffee kind of collects around the rings of it, and I love the type of look that gives. I did more tape, pretending like that's my tape with my pattern paper. She had some tape up there, so I covered it up with pattern paper just for a pop of color. I love the fact that you can see it poking out like that. And let's just left that. I did another little corner tuck here. I've got more of her little paper that I just turned into a journal spot. This is an actual journaling card. That one got really cooked, but you can certainly really write on that. Sewed around that. Decoupaged a butterfly. Made of some antennas. I love that coffee staining there. Just folded this over. I just love the way this paper looked after I coffee dyed it, so I just thought that'd be a great little journal spot. Put some stickles on those antennas to make them shine and sparkle. You have to be real careful how you put things in so everything shows up. And those butterflies I cut out of that spot earlier, I popped them over here. A fluttering of wings. You might hear a fluttering of wings. It might be butterflies, it might be birds. So anyway, this flips out. More stenciling, more journaling space. Got a little ticket there, just set there in one of her journal cards, and I just put that there. Made a little flip out, or a little with this flip, and I made this little booklet. It's got a woman's face on it. It's just one of the prettiest stamps, and it's got dragonflies. It's like she's peeking, looking at pretty flowers with dragonflies flying around, and just made like a little booklet. So I just added different little pieces of paper to this, and you can certainly well, you know what? I think I actually made sure that wasn't going to go anywhere, but you could always add another ribbon if you wanted to make another booklet, or just, leave it there, and that's your little journaling ideas. A little butterfly there from washi tape, more washi tape. Little butterfly there. One of her pretty cards, journaling cards. This was one of her journaling cards also, but I colored it. So it had the little black and white flowers here, and I was tempted not to do that, but I thought about printing another one out and leaving it black and white, but I just went on and I put pattern paper there to make it look like tape, and then I sewed all around it. Then I have a guest check with more of the black and white napkin on it, and more. It's got a teeny little pocket back here, very small, that you could put something. And then I have like my little music. I sewed around that, so that's journaling space. On the back I put a little pocket and did some edge punching in black. Listen, I punched that out and just put listen. And I have some of my baker's twine. This is vintage rose gold baker's twine. So I've got regular rose gold with white, and this is more of a vintage, kind of an off-white. But anyway, that's just a fun little tuck spot there. This is here part of an envelope where I'm tucking these items, and this I just made another little tag from one of her papers, and backed it with coffee dye paper and sewed around it in yellow, but I wanted him sticking out, and I wanted the bow, so I put the bow down at the corner. So when you flip this, I made a fancy little envelope with coffee dyed paper. Also did I did embossing, I did stamping, I sprayed some kind of a shimmer shine on it. I don't know if you can see it. Sewed a little ribbon on here, put some little snippets of laces on my garment pin with some beads. Put a flower here and stamped out always, one of my favorite quotes, always maintain a kind of summer even in the middle of winter. I did edge punching around it, and then I sewed some kind of a turquoise, my favorite color, cotton thread and just kind of wove that all the way around in there. So that's just hanging there, decorative. I just thought that was pretty. And so here you can, just one of our pretty cards, and so you can put some things in this little envelope. You could, back here, you could put pictures or whatever. And then the back of this is the back. Put a bag here, edge punch, stamped butterflies. My husband's getting ready to come in, so it might get noisy. And then here's a fun little tag there, and I put that bow there so that you wouldn't have to go digging it out, that you could grab hold of it, and it's just pretty. And then there's the back. And there you go. This was a lot of fun. I just had a lot of fun with it. It didn't come together as fast as I thought it would. I've got another one. I'm going to try to go faster, so we shall see. Hope everyone's having a wonderful, Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.